that you make it. I feel like a maze, I can't see a way out. I've been stacking face down off canvases I painted. I just spent the rain day on drip I can't afford, but that's the price I pay for the memories I'm making. I've been going places, I've been shaking hands for a chance to really make it. This life is so abrasive, so I almost gave it. All this that I'm laying.
Welcome to today's episode of Grind Hard, Hustle Smart with me, Charles Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a good one for you today. A beautiful episode. Man, I've been waiting for this exact moment to say what I'm about to say, to speak what I'm about to speak, to make audible what was previously inaudible. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about your vision, the vision of you, and how do you buy in to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have talked a very long time on this podcast about why I titled this podcast Grind Hard, Hustle Smart, and I believe I've done it for this moment, for this reason. I'll start by saying this. The best people that you find in the world that are excelling and making massive amounts of money from their talents, their skills, their gifts, their abilities, their aptitudes are not salesmen. They're good at selling a vision. They're good at applying that vision to your life. They're good at making things applicable to you. This is what the very best at the top of their game utilize each and every single day, day in and day out. Because if you sell somebody on the vision, then selling the product is already done. When you go buy a brand new house, what does the realtor do? They give you a vision. Oh, the master bedroom your bed would look good right here, and this could be the kids' room, and the dog out back, and the pool, the in-ground pool would be awesome. Just they sell you the vision, the possibility. This is the way things work. If anybody doesn't know, I'm a huge fan of college football. Do not call me from September to February on Friday or Saturday. Don't do it. Not going to answer. I'm a huge fan of college football. My favorite team is, of course, the Alabama Crimson Tide, number one, because I'm from Alabama. And number two, they just radiate excellence. So clearly, my favorite college football coach of all time would, of course, be the one, the only, Nick Saban. But here's one of the things that I don't think people understand about Coach Saban. Coach Saban might be, or probably is, the greatest college football coach of all time. But I would say he's not. What Coach Saban is good at is he probably is the greatest visionary of our lifetime. What I mean by that is this. He doesn't sell the NFL to these young men when they sign up. He sells the vision of themselves being better than they were before they had arrived on campus. Being better men, fathers, husbands, citizens than they were prior to their arrival on campus. Because in order to reach the NFL, you first have to go and develop yourself in that way. That's what makes Coach Saban unique. X's and O's are easy. Anybody can strategize. But getting the players to buy into your vision is a different ball game. You only see a few people do it. Ryan Day, Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, and now Kirby Smart, right? They're great at selling a vision. They're good at getting you to believe in you. So no, when you go to Alabama, Nick Saban's not selling you the NFL. Yes, I can get you to the NFL. He knows that's the easy part. You had the talents to do that before you came to Alabama. You could have took your talents anywhere. The hard part is selling you on the image of you being and excelling and operating at a higher level than you had previously thought before you arrived at the University of Alabama campus. It's easy to sell a product. See, I posted this post on LinkedIn and Facebook last night or early this morning. And I said was this. As a motivational speaker, the hardest thing for me to do, or the hardest thing, I guess I would say the hardest thing for me to do is to sell you on you. The easiest thing for me to do is to make me the product. Look at me. Look how far I've come. I grew up in the gutter. Now look where I am. Started from the bottom, now I'm here. The woe is me story is the easiest product to sell in this realm. But the hardest product, the hardest thing to sell is getting the crowd or the individual sitting in the audience to believe that they can be the vision that I'm exemplifying, or that I'm preaching, or that I'm making tangible. I always want to conduct this exercise. I want people to envision, because one of the greatest movies I've ever watched in my entire life is A Time to Kill. And most people would think that, Samuel L. Jackson's daughter being, violated by those two men was the climax of that movie. That was not the point. The best part of that movie, which I think anyone who has seen it would agree, is the moment in court when Matthew McConaughey is conducting this exercise with the jury. And everyone in the courtroom, close your eyes. Imagine a young girl. He didn't even say a color. A young girl walking down the street. And he goes through the process that Samuel L. Jackson's daughter has had to endure. And then he gets to the end and he said, now imagine she's white. And everybody opened their eyes, shocked. That is the pivotal point of that movie. That is the essence of that movie. Getting people to believe in a vision of themselves. Getting those jury members to believe that what happened to that young girl could happen to their daughter. And to take it even further, they would have, if they were fathers, which all of them were, took the exact same actions that Samuel L. Jackson took. Matthew McConaughey went through the entirety of that to say this. Have empathy. Understand that this man is not a black man. He's not just somebody who grew up in the South. This man is a father, a human being who loves his daughter. Put yourself in his shoes. And what happened at the end of the movie? What was the result? He was acquitted, cleared of all charges. But the reason why that's such a big point in the movie, because oftentimes it's hard to sell people on themselves. This is why I love when Nick Saban says, trust the process. I need my guys to buy in. And I would point this directly at ourselves, us as individuals. Are you bought into you? Are you bought into the ideal of you? Are you bought into your future? Because some people would say, yes, I am bought into my future. Well, what are you doing right now to make that future happen? Because people who are bought in have receipts, can show the things that they're doing on a daily basis to work towards these things. It's one thing to just give somebody lip service. Yes, I'm bought in. It's another thing to actually believe it. Take it to heart. Make it matter. And then make those things come to fruition in reality. I wish everybody would conduct this exercise. I wish I can do this live in person. Have everybody close their eyes. Have everybody living in this world in their own mind, envisioning themselves doing whatever it is that they are seeking to do, not pursuing the goal, not wishing for some type of success, not wishing for some type of future, but actually living it. Envision in your own mind you living the life that you had set out to live, performing at a high level, driving the car you want to drive, living in the community you want to live in, living in the house you want to live in, whether it be playing Major League Baseball, playing in the National Football League, playing in the NBA, playing in the NHL, graduating from Harvard, getting your MBA, becoming a doctorate student, graduating from, some prestigious medical school and going on to be the next Ben Carson, going on to do amazing, wonderful things, graduating from Princeton, Harvard, or Oxford, whatever your high priority goal is, the thing that you set out, envision that in your mind. Are you bought into that vision? Are you bought into that idea? One of the things that always frustrates me is this. People are so eager to buy into the idea or the vision that people feed them externally, but they don't even buy into their own vision of themselves. This is why people go out and externally clothe themselves in the things that are in that vision, even if they're not living the vision. This is why people go out and spend $500, $800, $1,500 for a Louis Vuitton bag, a Birkin bag, Versace, Gucci, necklaces, diamonds, earrings, bracelets. But if those things are so valuable, if you're so bought into the vision of those industries, those companies, because let me tell you what those companies are molding a vision for you. Let me tell you how they're molding a vision. Honestly, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, some of the stuff that they be putting out is absolutely horrendous. Some of these shoes I see, and I'm like, where in the world where are people coming up with this stuff? And the reason why people buy into that stuff is because they believe in the vision. Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Birkin, all these high-end products, they don't say, hey, buy our stuff because it's the most fashionable stuff. No. Buy into it because it puts off a certain image, of affluence. Sure, it might be great, amazing quality, but you're not buying that Louis Vuitton bag because it was triple hand stitched. You're buying into the image, the vision. That's why you bought it. And I know that sounds superficial. And I know I'm generalizing. But it just is what it is. Are you bought into you the way you bought into Louis Vuitton? Are you bought into you the way you bought into, Birkin? Are you bought into you the way you bought into Reebok, the way you bought into Nike, the way you bought into Burger King, McDonald's, the way you bought into Lowe's, Home Depot, the LA Lakers, LA Clippers, Las Vegas Raiders, Kansas City Chiefs? Are you bought in to your brand just as much as you're bought into everybody else's brand? I'll give you this one example. One thing that always amazes me is this. Everybody on every college football team believes at their core, at least on a surface level, that they're the next great NFL prospect. But if you were to dig deeper, oftentimes you would find that they're not totally bought into the fact that they can play in the NFL. Because if they were, they wouldn't skip reps at the gym. Because they know that one rep could be the catalyst to catapult them from the third round to the first round. From a Pro Bowler to a Hall of Famer. From somebody who makes the playoffs to winning the Super Bowl. They're not bought into that vision. Sure, can they make an NFL roster? Absolutely. They have the talents. They have the tangibles. But they're not completely bought in. Because if they were bought in, the things that they do throughout the day would exemplify that. This is the reason why you see a lot of major football programs produce a lot of NFL talent. Because these young men have bought into the idea that if I've played the best on, practice, if I go head up with Derrick Henry all week, Heisman winner, and I go head up with him and I win again and again and again and again in practice while he's at the University of Alabama, and now that he's achieving high marks in the NFL, of course I need to believe that I can do that when I get to the league. If I can go head up with the biggest running back in the NFL that's won the Heisman, that's won national championships, then I certainly can go head up with the most mediocre running back in the NFL. Just think about that. That's buying into your vision of you. I guarantee you, if you ask Shannon Sharp to this day, did he ever consider wearing the golden jacket? He probably would humbly say that no, in the beginning, I don't think I was Hall of Fame, talent, but I guarantee you he envisioned himself doing it. I guarantee you Ray Lewis saw himself with that jacket. I guarantee you Ed Reed saw himself with it. I guarantee you, Tom Brady saw himself being the greatest. I guarantee you these men envisioned themselves excelling at high levels. And then they put in the work to make it happen each and every single day. Are you bought into you? Are you bought into you? Because the hardest concept to get anybody to understand is buying into themselves. Because people would rather play the victim. That's easy. I didn't do this because of that. I didn't do this because of them. Whatever reason it is, that's what they believe to their core. But if you were truly bought into the vision of you, if you were truly bought into the ideal of you excelling at a high level, accomplishing the things that you had set out to accomplish from the day your feet started pitter-pattering against the ground, why aren't you consciously working on those things each and every single day? Now it requires for us to go look in the mirror and decide for ourselves, are we truly bought into our future? Or are we busy vicariously living out the vision of others? People don't buy your product. They buy why you sell the product. They buy the vision, the purpose. And how can you implant that purpose in their life. I'm trying to get you to buy into you. This is the greatest gift that I can give anybody. I need you to believe in you the way I believe in you. One of the greatest NBA players to have ever graced the court, Kobe Bryant. And I used to watch this, these documentaries on him going after his teammates maniacally, the same way MJ did. And what I began to notice is this. Kobe Bryant didn't disrespect them or not respect them as men. What he didn't respect is the fact that they weren't bought into him. Number one, the way they weren't bought into themselves, the way that he's bought into himself. And number two, they're not bought in as much as he is towards them as they are to themselves. How can the star on your team believe in you more than you believe in you? If I'm in the NBA, god dang it, I'm believing without a shadow of the doubt I'm the best player on the floor. I don't care if I put up half a point. I'm still the best. And that's what Kobe Bryant and MJ, that's what made them so maniacal. That's what made them go so hard. That's what made them treat their teammates the way they treated them. Because they were trying to get their team to buy into a vision. And in order for them to buy into hey, we need to win a championship. This is the vision for this team. I need you to buy into it. But before you buy into the fact that our team will win a championship, I need you to believe and envision yourself as a championship player yourself. It's hard to respect somebody you're dragging behind you. Especially if they're not as bought in as you are. I can understand helping a teammate along who's going hard in the paint each and every single day, giving it everything they got. But if you're just being mediocre because you're lazy, that's a completely different thing. Vision, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'm trying to promote, what I'm trying to sell you. I'm trying to sell you on you. I'm trying to help you buy into the vision that you wake up with of yourself each and every single day. You want to be the best teacher in the world? That's where you envision yourself. What are you doing about it? The best instructor, professor? What are you doing about it? Congressman, senator, what are you doing about it? Lawyer, what are you doing about it? If you envision yourself possibly going back to school and learning a new skill, what are you doing about it? That's why I don't talk motivationally about my life. It's not about me. I focus on you. I need you to focus on you. I need you to believe in you. None of my speeches are about me. I'm 100% bought into the ideal of you being the greatest person that you can possibly be. That's the easy part. The hard part is me getting you to believe in who you can possibly be. That's where it starts. Because I don't want you to leave any of my talks, any of my podcasts, any of my videos with some good feeling. Essentially getting high on the supply of what I'm saying. No, I need you to wake up and understand that the key to your success is right there in the mirror each and every single day. You just got to buy into it. Completely and 100% buy in. Most people do not understand that they kill their own dreams before they ever leave the cradle with self-doubt, self-hatred. Telling themselves, oh, I can't do that. There's no way possible I can achieve those things. That's a lie. Buy in. Buy into the idea of who you can be. Carry that vision in your mind each and every. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, I got tons of visions for I believe I'll be doing TED Talks. I got that vision in my mind. I got a vision of myself giving speeches, day after day after day, traveling overseas, traveling to high schools, talking to NFL teams, NBA teams, NHL teams, MLS. Whoever needs to hear this message will hear this message. That's my vision, and I buy into that each and every single day and put my actions towards accomplishing those goals. What do you envision yourself doing? There's one thing to hope and dream, wish. Well, I wish I'll be a doctor. That's not a vision. That's just throwing something randomly up in the air and hoping that it'll fall in your lap. It's never going to happen. Envisioning is leaving reality and living in that moment when you are literally living the life that you had sought to live, and then coming back to reality and doing everything in your power to make that vision that you had just come back from happen for real. Are you bought into that vision? Because if you were bought into the vision of yourself in the future, you will be doing everything on planet Earth to make it come true. Period. Is this a human system? Do we make mistakes? Do we backslide? Do we experience setbacks, obstacles, pain, suffering? Absolutely. But the vision is always at the forefront of our mind, always on the tip of our tongue, always becomes the impetus of why our heart beats each and every single day. Your heart beats faster just thinking about the possibility of you accomplishing the things that you have been envisioning yourself accomplishing. Because truthfully, that happiness that you had envisioned in your mind is possible. It's possible. The elation that you feel graduating from whatever school it is that you envision yourself graduating from, accomplishing whatever goal you have envisioned yourself accomplishing, getting to whatever career field that you had envisioned yourself getting into is possible. Those feelings come with it. It's possible. You don't have to escape reality, just go live it. You can come back to reality, do what's necessary to accomplish it, and live it in actuality. That's possible. I need you to believe in you. Believe in the vision of you that I believe in. I'm telling you right now, that's why people get pissed off with me. Because oftentimes I create self-doubt for myself. No, there's no way Charles Johnson, Edward Johnson Jr. can go speak to tens of thousands of people coming from where he come from. I say this to myself, and other people get pissed off with me like, Charles, we see it in you. Why don't you see it? And what they're telling me is, Charles, you need to believe in the vision of you that you have envisioned in your mind forever, because you didn't even tell us the vision. And we can see it. Sometimes your vision can be so evident to others and it pisses them off. Why? Because you can't see it. How can something so obvious go without being seen by the very person it lives within? Man, I'm telling you, I love this, man. I love this. I love doing this. I accept the challenge. I'm not talking about grind hard, hustle smart because it's some cliche. This is how I really feel. Grind hard, hustle smart is my mantra. That's how I got here. Nothing's come easy. But it started with me believing in the vision of myself and then going after it. Just because you get the vision of something doesn't mean it'll come easy. But it will come if you work towards it. You just got to leave that ugly vision of yourself in the past. Leave it where it started. I need you to believe in the vision of you in the future. I need you to believe in the energy that you have then, now. That energy, that happiness, that joy, that elation that you feel in that moment when you start living the life that you had sought to live, you still got those feelings now. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, only transformed. You take that energy, that potential energy, you ball it up, you place it within yourself, and you go forth in the world putting that energy to use. I need you to believe in you, man. I need you to be the best you so that I can be the best me. One of you out there may be the best teammate I will ever have. But the only thing hindering you from us ever crossing paths is the fact that you haven't fully bought into you. I need you to buy into you. Buy into the vision of you. Take it to heart and work towards it each and every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's possible. You are who you are, absolutely. But you are also who you can be. You are also who you should be. And when you completely buy in, without any regrets, with no remorse, when you completely buy into the idea of you, you will become 100% without a doubt the vision that you have held in your mind, however long it's been within you, you will become that. Ladies and gentlemen, never compromise on who you are. You are born with the capacity to achieve greatness if you so desire. Learning to say no is a critical element to assessing that greatness. Your choices will define you, so make them the right ones. Make the choice to buy into you. Make the choice to buy into your vision of you. Make the choice of buying into the vision of yourself being better than you were the day before, the decade before. It's possible. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, please take this time and download this podcast and share with your friends and add it to your daily routine. You can find me on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Stitcher, Overcast, YouTube. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on multiple platforms, audio and visual. You can go to the website, thecharlesjohnson.com, go to the podcast tab, catch me there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your call to action. I need you. I need you. You are an awesome, amazing, wonderful human beings. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. Please send your boy some support. It really does go a long, long way.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record, yeah. For the record, yeah. For the record, for the record, for the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. Frozen. 8-6 all the hate, I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ballin' age. I'm flipping the bars, I'm flipping the on record, off record. I still count wins when they doubt it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. Running through it with the young influence, adolescent presence. I'm succumbing to it. I've been giving yeses when I shouldn't do it. I complete a jacket, but the moves elusive and I'm barely moving, but I'm still gon' boost them. I can't work on winnings when I know you're losing, so I with the winnings and they throw the deuces. Guess I have to pivot, shooting the bazookas for the facts. I need racks, paper cash, fuck a tax. That's a joke, tell them laugh. Uncle Sam, fuck out the bag. Brody plot, we'll get a whack. Contract, give me the max. I got lab on my back. You ain't that, then it's raps. Whoa, 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 whoa. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, yeah. For the record.